Okay, so find yourself in a tall supported seat, whatever it looks like. Remember, that really doesn't matter. But what I want you to do is find a sense of feeling really, really tall, like as tall as you can possibly get, all the way from your tail through the crown of your head. If you're sitting on the chair, maybe uncross your ankles or your knees so your feet are flat on the ground. If you are on the floor and like if you're on the floor and your butt's in contact with the ground and you feel like you're scooping your pelvis underneath, like your tail is tucking, I might recommend getting a block or two. I put them like I'm wide, so I put them next to each other, and then you can put them underneath your bottom, and then it will feel like your pelvis is tilting more forward. Does that make sense? So maybe try that to make yourself regain the natural curvature of the spine. Remember, it's not flat. So don't worry about having perfectly straight and strong spine. Roll your shoulders down away from your ears. Let your gaze go forward and slightly down. Tuck your chin down and back a little bit. Lock your gaze ahead of you at something that's not moving where you can stare, and then soften the muscles around your eyes. Your vision might go a little blurry. Just keep your attention and your eyeballs locked in that position without darting around the room. Rest your hands. Notice what distractions are and let them be what they are where they are. And see if you can settle into some sort of stillness. It doesn't have to be perfect. Press down into what's touching down, reach up more through the crown of your head, and mentally separate yourself from what you were doing so you can come fully now into what you are doing. And start to ground and center yourself using your senses first. So notice what you see, even if your eyes are shut. It might just be like flickers of lights and colors. Notice the shapes. Notice the shadows. Notice where all the doors and windows are in relation to your body. Notice where the other people are in relation to your body. Start to notice all the noises in the space besides my voice. And then notice your own personal bubble of space. See if you can detect where air touches your skin versus where your clothing is covering your skin. Notice where your body is touching what's underneath you. And notice your spine again. See if your position changed. You can rearrange and readjust again. And settle your awareness on the parts of your body that are moving just from your breathing. Don't change your breath, just bring awareness there. And sense what it feels like to just breathe now. Notice if it's kind of smooth or kind of choppy today. Does it feel more quick or more slow? Is it easy or labored? Some people, when they pay attention to the breath too, they notice an emotion to the breath or even a color or a texture. Just be aware of anything that pops into your mind. There's really no right or wrong answers. And you can stay there just observing, or you could start to engage with your breathing a little more intentionally by drawing in your inhales a little lower and deeper into your belly than you normally do. And then when you exhale, let the air escape just half a beat or a beat longer, preferably in and out of your nose. But if you wish, you can breathe out of your mouth and just pretend you're like blowing out of a straw. It'll slow the air down to help you. It might make a sound, it might create a texture. That's all normal. Just inhale and exhale a little bit deeper and slower than you normally do. Maintain that feeling of length. Keep pressing it down into what's underneath you. Really expanding, almost like just from the breath, you're stretching and creating space in the breathing body already. It doesn't have to feel good. It might feel a little uncomfortable, but detect what's present for you as you stay with this pattern, whatever you chose. One more round like that. And then return to your natural passive breathing and notice anything left over so far. Sanskrit has this really great term called shesha, S-E-S-A, and it means the remaining thing or the echo. So notice your shesha throughout the rest of class and tomorrow and the next day, and it'll keep giving you hints about whether or not what you're doing is good for you. Good. Next time you breathe in, open your eyes if you haven't already. You can kind of take in the room around you again. It might look or feel a little different, especially the quality of the light. That's normal. And rearrange anything you need to. So today we're going to do head to toe, I guess, based on the requests. So let's start. If you're on the floor, start on your back with your knees bent. If you're in a chair, scoot all the way back into your seat so you feel support throughout your entire spine. And we are going to get up and down today. So if that helps you decide like whether or not you want to get on the floor, then make your choice. Take your time getting down. Maybe when you are down, you put both feet flat on the floor. You kind of push into your feet, lift your hips just like an inch and kind of wiggle them back and forth, and then set your hips back down. You can do the same with the shoulders. You can lift them up and forward and roll them really far down and back, slide them down the spine, and then set them back behind you again. Arms can rest on your belly or on your lap or on the ground, whatever feels most comfortable. Stay and just notice this different relationship with gravity to start. Notice how it affects the breathing body when you're compressing the backside of you. Good. And then if you're in a chair, reach your feet out ahead of you, maybe one at a time. If you're on the floor, lift them up towards the ceiling. You can do the same with your hands, reaching them straight out ahead of you, out of your shoulders. Pull your low belly, press your low back into what's behind you to help support you here, and start to simply roll the ankles and the wrists. Maybe go one direction a couple times. Really try to find your full range of motion. Don't just rush through this habitually. See if you can do it for the first time. And then pause and go the other way too. Knees can bend. Everything doesn't have to be perfectly straight here. Just keep noticing and moving. Great. And then bend and straighten the elbows and the knees. Keep breathing. Just getting really basic movements here to start simulating the synovial fluid in the joints. Get everything really juicy. Good. And then pause and put your feet back on the ground. Knees are bent, arms are resting. Take a breath. Notice anything left over. And then right knee back towards your chest. So you can grab your pants or you can hold on to your knee or the back of your thigh. Keep your left foot on the ground at first. Keep your shoulders and your head in line with your hips. Everything's really long from tail to crown. And use the strength of your hands to really squeeze the knee back in towards your belly. But if you just ate breakfast or it feels uncomfortable, you can always take the knee more out towards the armpit at an angle instead. And breathe. You might stay here or you might elongate the left leg. If you elongate through the left leg, flex the ankle like you're standing on that leg. Push through the heel, pull your toes back towards your body. Another breath here. And then switch. So let the right leg go back down to the floor. Left knee comes in towards the chest or the armpit. Give it a good squeeze. Trust your hands. Let the sides of your neck and the tops of your shoulders relax, even if you're pulling a little bit with the arms. Unclench your jaw. Maybe you flex through the right foot if it's long. Good. Put both feet back down on the ground. Both knees are bent. And then one and then the other. Bring both knees back for a hug if you're on the floor. If you're in a chair, you're going to fold over your legs. Good. We're going for compression between the thighs and the abdomen. Some people grab onto their pants or the outside of their knees. Some people interlace their fingers. Some people grab their wrists. Some people grab their opposite elbows. And option to be still or to rock, side to side, forward and back. Make your choice. No wrong answers. Two more breaths here. Notice where you're feeling it the most and if those sensations are changing and moving as you stay and breathe. Good. And then come back to neutral, tall spine, knees are bent, feet on the floor. And grab your strap. Does anyone need a strap, by the way? Good. Okay. So find the middle-ish. It doesn't have to be perfect here. Bring your right knee back for another hug, just so you can get the strap under the ball of your right foot. And I want you to be kind of picky, okay? The strap isn't underneath the pads of the toes. The strap is under the base knuckle, under the ball of the right foot, and then underneath the base knuckle, under the pinky toe too. So you're not actively pulling the toe joints back. Does that make sense? Okay. And then I think it's super secure to have one side of the strap in each hand. I kind of wrap it around my hands too. So I have a really good grip and it's not going to slip away from me. Push through your heel, pull your toes back towards your body first. Then to any extent, you can start to extend through your leg. Your knee can be super bent or super straight or somewhere in between. Think 10 years, not 10 breaths or 10 classes. So left knee can stay bent. Some bodies like to extend through the left leg as well. That's going to change the sensation, especially in the back of the leg and the hips and the groins area. So be careful here. Tread with caution. Remember, we always want to have two opposites in motion at the same time. So if we're lengthening in the back of the leg, we need to shorten and strengthen in the front of the leg. So squeeze the quads. Act like you want to lift your kneecap up towards your hip. Good. Stay and notice what happens when you push more into the ball of the foot under the right toe. And then do the opposite. Push more into the pinky side edge of the foot. and then come back to neutral. Now, push into the ball of the right foot and pretend you want to pull your pinky toe back towards your face. What? Breathe. If it's uncomfortable, that's fine. If it's super painful, stop doing it. Good. And then back to neutral. Okay, take both sides of the strap just into the left arm, opposite arm as the foot that is out ahead of you. And 1 to 5 inches, take your leg across the midline of your body towards the left side of the room. Maybe you back out a little bit, put your right thumb against the crease of your right hip and press a little bit, and then try again. Notice where you feel it the most, and then notice how that moves or changes as you stay. Next time you breathe in, belly in to support you, bring your foot all the way back out ahead of you. Release your strap, but keep your foot where it is as long and as strong as you can. Relax your face, unclench your jaw, release the sides of your neck, and forward and down, forward and down, forward and down, 1 inch at a time, lower your leg. Really take your time. Notice where it's easy and where you have that. There's always a moment where you're like, oh shit, I'm going to drop my leg. See if you can slow down the descent. Just notice the shaking and the heat and the story in your head. And keep breathing. And when the leg is down, make both of the legs look the same, either both long or both bent, and notice what is left over. It's normal for one leg to feel tingly or cold or even feel like it's longer than the other one. Just notice. Good. Other side. So grab your strap, bend your knees again, bring your left knee back so you can get the strap under the ball of your left foot. Be really picky, people. Careful with your toes. Don't pull on the toes. One side of the strap in each hand. Maybe you wrap it around your fist so it feels super strong. Flex through the ankle first, so push through the heel, pull your toes back towards your body, and then to any extent, you can start to lengthen through your leg. Belly in, low back, pressing back into what's behind you. Act like you want to, like, you know how you plug a light into a socket? Plug your leg back into its socket, like pull the leg bone down into the hip. Relax the sides of your neck, unclench your jaw, smooth out your eyebrows, and breathe. Find somewhere where it's not everything, but it's not nothing. It's something in between, and you can stay and observe. Really good breathing. Stay and push more into the ball of the left foot, right under the big toe. See how that feels. And then press into the pinky toe and pinky toe edge of the foot. In my body, it feels like a lot in the outside of the ankle, but you might notice it somewhere different. And then come back to neutral, push into the ball of the left foot and act like you're going to pull your pinky toe back towards your face. Woof. Good. Okay, release the toes. Put both sides of the strap just into your right arm. So opposite arm and leg are working now. Keep pushing through your heel. Keep pulling your toes back towards your body. Knee can be as bent as you want, y'all. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. 1 to 5 inches, take your leg across. Maybe you hook your left thumb into the crease of your left hip and press a little bit. Little bit of shaking is okay. A lot of bit of shaking, maybe back out a little bit. Bend the knee more. Take your foot more over towards the left. Good. Next time you inhale, bring your leg all the way back to center. Last piece, release the strap, but keep your foot as far out ahead of you as you can. Relax the sides of your neck and your jaw, and 1 inch at a time, forward and down, forward and down, forward and down, lower the leg. Really try to take your time with it. One way to define the term yoga is to engage. See if you can engage with this sensation without identifying with it, without judging it, just noticing it as part of your experience. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, it's okay. When the legs are both down, make them look the same, both long or both bent, and then observe what is left over. Notice your shesha. One more big breath here, just noticing. Good. Okay, we're going to come up to sit. So if you're on the floor, I probably recommend coming over onto one side. Maybe use your arm like a pillow and readjust for a second. Cradle your head, open your eyes if they were shut, take in the room around you again, and then use the arm that's on top and use as little effort as possible and push yourself up to a tall seat. Take your time. If you just want to lay there and sleep, that is good yoga. You should do that. And I wouldn't judge you. And I've definitely done that. Woken up an hour after class is over and everyone is gone except for me. Happens all the time. Okay. Come to a tall seat. Legs can be your choice, but you want to feel tall again. And remember, the blocks are an option. So if you feel like your pelvis is scooping underneath, I recommend putting the blocks underneath. So it almost feels like you're kind of sticking your butt out behind you, your tail out behind you. Okay. But that's following the natural curve there. Okay. Reach really tall up through the crown of your head. Roll your shoulders a couple times really big, slower than you normally do. Pull them all the way forward, all the way up towards the earlobes. Really pinch them behind you and then slide them down your back. Yeah, good. Do that a couple more times. At the same time, you're releasing the eyebrows, you're unclenching the jaw. You might even swallow, let your tongue fall off the roof of your mouth, and then part your lips and your teeth very slightly so you can keep that kind of slack feeling in the upper part of the body. Good. Next time your shoulders are down and back, keep them there. Let your gaze go ahead again. And then reach your arms out actively out of your shoulders. So instead of just like hanging, you're squeezing your fingers together like Barbie hands and then reaching the arms out of the shoulder sockets. And just stay here for a moment. Push down into your seat, pelvis in and up, belly in and up, squeeze your shoulders behind you, relax your face and your jaw even more, and act like you're pulling past your fingertips. Good. See if you can notice something in the upper back and maybe even the sides of the neck or the front of the chest. Now stay here, still reaching, and remind yourself that your arms start at the clavicle, not at the shoulder sockets. So imagine all of this is happening from the base of the neck and the front of the chest. And see if that changes anything. Let your chin come down very slightly and start to rock your chin to one side and then the other, still reaching through the arms. Once you've done the same amount of turns on each side, come back to stillness and let your hands release. If you're in a chair, make sure you have a block on either side so that you can easily touch down on something. Or even if you're on the floor and you don't easily touch the ground, like when you lean over really quick, I can bring you more blocks. Okay, just me? That's fine. Good. Okay, look forward, identify your right hand first. You can give it a little wiggle if you want to. And next time you inhale, reach your arm either out to shoulder height, especially if you have neck or shoulder tenderness or injury, you might just stay here with the elbow bent and the palm up like you're holding a serving tray or something. But if you want, you could reach the arm up overhead. If you do, lift the shoulder girdle up as well. Don't push your head into your hand, but squeeze the bicep up towards your ear and flatten through the wrist. So you're reaching straight up. Good. Stay here for one more breath. Inhale, get taller through the crown of your head. Exhale to any degree, lean over towards the left. Let your fingertips touch down first. Some bodies like to come down to the palm or to the elbow, but no matter what you do, I want you to keep your hips glued down to the floor. So even if that means you bend over less, that's fine. Focus instead on opening the sides of the ribs, creating a really big C shape in the breathing body. You can look down, you can look forward. Some people might experiment with kind of reaching at a diagonal forward and down with the heart pointing down towards the floor. See if that gets into the sides of the back or the low hips a little differently. And then inhale, come all the way back to your side bend and up through the middle. Good. Exhale, lower your arm down. Notice the whooshing and the tingling and throbbing. That's normal. Just let everything come back to normal, and then we'll do the other side. Good. And then when you're ready, inhale. Other arm comes either out or up. You don't have to look exactly like the other side did. We're just doing the same practice. So glue your hips down. Inhale, reach really high up through the fingertips. And then to any degree, you might come down to fingertips, to palm, to elbow. You might reach your block away if you're using a block. Just make it work for you. It doesn't have to look like anything in particular. See if when you're reaching straight over, you can open your heart towards the front at first. Soft face, unclench your jaw, keep breathing. And then maybe you experiment with gluing the hips down and reaching forward and down like you're trying to grab something over there. One more breath, whatever you chose. And then inhale back to your side bend and all the way back through the middle. Exhale, lower your arm. Notice what's left over. Good. Okay. Inhale, bring your arms to a cactus shape, and one at a time, kind of swim them down your back a little bit more so you can really pinch the corners of the shoulder blades towards each other in the middle of the spine. Now imagine if I'm like looking at you from the side, there's a line through the spine and through the middle of your body. See if you can take your elbows in front of that line, but the thumbs back behind the line and squeeze. Notice where you feel it the most. See if you can release the sides of your neck and your jaw even more. Good. Inhale, reach all the way up. You might even look up at the top. And exhale, let your hands come all the way down to the floor. Good. Inhale your arms out to a T shape. Exhale, twist to the right. So just let your hands swing over and land somewhere. Don't pull yourself. We're not going for like an adjustment here at the chiropractor. You want to feel long even though you're twisting. So that means twist less if you don't feel like you can reach through the crown of your head really well. Maybe for the last breath or two, you look over your back shoulder. Good. Next inhale, come all the way back to the center. And exhale, lower your hands down. Take a breath in between. Notice anything left over on that side. Other side. Inhale, arms out to a big T shape. Exhale, twist. Just let the hands be support. You don't want to pull. Each time you breathe in, get taller through the crown of your head. Each time you exhale, imagine squeezing through the belly so you twist further. You might even look over your back shoulder. When you're ready to breathe in, come all the way back to the center and exhale, let your hands come down. Notice what's left over for another breath. Keep checking in neutral. Notice the shesha after every pose. This goes for what you do at home too for your home practice. Keep noticing. It'll help you guide and know if what you're doing is working. Good. Okay, we said jaw and neck. So you guys ready to do something kind of weird? I think we've done it before, but let's do it. It's called lion's breath, and I'll demonstrate it once, and it looks really funny, and no one's looking at you. I'm only recording me, so it's okay. Okay? So this is a way to open the jaw more by using the strength of your tongue, and you're going to kind of make a face like a lion, you know, like a prideful lion taking a big yawn. You're going to kind of look like that. Okay, so I'll show you once. What you're going to do is you're going to open your mouth and push your tongue out and down and really utilize like the strength of a tongue. It's actually a very strong muscle to pull your jaw open more. It as someone with TMJ, like it feels pretty uncomfortable, and it can even make like the click. And that's okay. You're not hurting yourself, but it's just creating a little bit of extra space. And then it should help with like neck tension and migraines and stuff like that too. Okay. So it goes like this. You inhale once for prosperity and exhale. Inhale again and exhale. You really push the jaw open. Okay. Let's do a couple rounds. So inhale. Oh, wow. Already? Yeah. I'm telling you, I know all the weird tricks. Okay. Inhale just for nothing. Exhale. Close your eyes if you want. No one's looking. Inhale. Exhale. Lion's breath. Even make like a yeah. Do it again. Inhale. When you're ready. One more. Yeah, good. And then take your knuckles and give your jaw a little bit of a massage. Thanks for playing. And you might massage up into your temples as well. Might do your hairline. Maybe grab your neck, opposite sides of your neck, pull down from your earlobe down towards your collarbones. And then the other side. Good. Okay. Let's come to hands and knees just very quickly. But if you want to stay seated, you can stay seated. We're just going to do cat and cow on the hands and knees or seated, and then we're going to stand just for a couple postures. And then we'll have to cool down. We're almost there already. So come into your neutral tabletop position. If you're on a seat, that means heels of the hands pressing into your thighs, arms are straight, feet are in line with your knees are in line with your hips, shoulders are down and back, and press your head back behind chin, down and back. If you're on the floor, spread your hands out as wide as they can possibly get, like your fingers. Good. And then squeeze your fingers as close together as they can possibly get. And press down and see how that feels. And then find something in between with the thumbnails rolling in towards each other. Yeah. Good. Now, be aware of dumping into the shoulders. This is really common. Make sure you're pushing your hands into what's underneath you and you're reaching your chin down and back. You might even reach your gaze a little bit forward ahead of your mat instead of straight down between the hands to help the neck stay long. And then press into the feet, press into the knees, pull your belly organs in and up. This is your neutral tabletop position. Good. Inhale, belly comes forward, chest comes forward, gaze goes forward. And then exhale, round your shoulders, let your head get heavy, and push into your hands. Back and forth at your own pace. Inhaling forward, squeeze the muscles between your shoulders and your hips, and then exhale, round. Good. Go back and forth at your own pace like 4 or 5 times. This is one of those things that like if you're going to do one yoga thing every day, this is what I think you should do. It's my personal opinion. Take your time. You can stay here and do this forever if it feels good, or we'll move on. Come back to neutral. Let's do one more little strength building thing here before we get up. So if you're on the floor, tuck your toes and press into the pads of your feet. And then 1 inch, lift your knees off the floor and just stay there. If you're on the chair, maybe press less into your hands and lift your feet up off the ground 1 inch. Yeah. So either way, we're bracing through the core and the low part of the abdomen. Stay for another round or two. Soft jaw, soft sides of your neck, chin down and back, smooth out your forehead, keep breathing. Good. And then lower your knees back down, maybe toes together, knees apart, shift your hips back for a child's pose. If you're on the chair, widen your knees and fold forward. Head gets super heavy, arms are heavy. Compressing the front of the body so you can breathe bigger into the back of your body. So notice what that feels like now. Always an option too to rock the head forward and back, side and side a little bit. See if you can breathe so big into the back of your body that it like lifts you up out of your pose. And then when you exhale, you sink back into it. Yeah. Good. Inhale, look forward first so you can start to lift yourself up and then kind of walk your hands back and bring yourself back up to a tall spine. Good. Okay, we're literally just going to do one standing pose today because we're out of time. So if you want to stand, you can stand, or you can do this on the like from hands and knees. Let me show you both versions, okay? And then you can decide what you want to do. Because you could go like knee down, or you could go knee up. Those are your options. So knee down or knee up. So you can get there how you want. Some people are going to want to stand first and then step back. Some people will swing a leg forward while they're on hands and knees, and then they're already in the pose. It's up to you. Good. Okay. Left foot is forward on most of you, it looks like. So let's do that. Okay, so with the knee up or down, push into the left big toe and the pinky toe and see if you can lift your torso up. It might already feel like a back bend. That's okay. Gaze goes forward. Scissor your legs together without moving them, so you're squeezing them towards each other. Gaze is ahead. Maybe you let go of your chair or your hips and you reach your arms up overhead. Good. The heel could be up or down in the back leg. That's totally up to you. If the heel is down in the back leg, don't let the hips open out to the side. Don't worry about squaring them off to the front. You have to have super flexy ankles for that. Good. Lift the shoulders up towards the ears. Bend the front knee more and settle. Good. Cactus arms, stay where you are. One at a time, swim the shoulders down further onto your back. You might stay here, elbows forward, thumbs back. You might start to look up towards the sky. Lift your heart up off your hips. Don't collapse. Some people are going to put their hands in their back pockets and squeeze the elbows together. Some people might interlace their fingers into one fist and then straighten the arms behind them. Make your choice and breathe. Good. Inhale, lift up, look forward. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart or your hips. You could step forward to come out, or you could lower your knee and come to sit. Take a breath. Notice what is left over. Good. Other side. So if you're on the floor, come to kneel and then swing your right foot forward this time. If you're on your mat, step your left foot back. You could stay super high on the toes. If you're up on the toes, lift the heel up, like push into the big toe as hard as you can and lift the heel straight up towards the sky and straighten the leg as much as you can. So it's like an arrow behind you. Okay. If that feels too wobbly, some bodies will like lower the back heel towards the ground but not touch. And then some bodies might lower the heel all the way down so that they can press into it. If you do, open the hips. Bend more into your front knee. Push more into the big toe. Scissor your legs together without moving them. And then see if you can get super tall. Good. Arms can come up if you wish. See if you can feel yourself pressing down from the waist down and lifting up from the waist up. Opposite directions. Softer face, deeper breathing. Maybe you cactus your arms. You could do elbows forward, thumbs back. You could start to look up. If you look up, it's going to change your gravity. So don't be surprised if it makes you extra wobbly. Maybe hands go in your back pockets. Maybe you straighten your arms, crossing the opposite thumb on top and reaching through one fist. Awesome choices. Stay and breathe. One more round. Just notice, no judgment. And then inhale, release. Bring your hands back down. You can either lower onto your back knee and swing your leg back to sit, or you can step forward to the front of your mat. Notice what's left over. Yeah. Okay. Let's do one more since we're standing. Everyone go to a chair or the wall and grab your strap. We're going to do, we did a lot of hamstrings. Let's do a quad stretch as well. Okay. Okay, great. So let me show you different ways of doing this too. Sorry, I know it's like, what is it, tyranny of choice? Okay, so what we're aiming for is stretching the top of the leg. That's it. So that could be toenails down back behind you, and you press into the foot and you actively pull that hip forward, and you will feel something. That might be enough. You can grab onto your chair or your hips for support. You could lift the heel up towards your buttock. Some bodies can grab the foot and keep the knees sort of close together and keep squeezing the heel towards the buttock. If that's not accessible, it's not for a lot of people, then you can grab onto a chair or the wall. You can put your foot in the strap behind you. And then over time, you use the strap to get the same sensation. Make sense? Let's try it. Okay, so grab onto something good. Right leg is your standing leg. Super strong and straight. Don't hold the baby. Keep the hip in line. Shoulders stacked on top of your hips. Gaze is forward. Maybe you just press the back toes into the floor and squeeze the buttocks so that hip can roll forward. That might be enough. Maybe you practice squeezing the heel towards the buttock. Maybe you want to use your strap, put the toes in your strap, and then over time, get the foot closer to your buttock. And if you can just grab it, that's fine. Okay, so some things to think about while you're staying here. Notice if your body is tipping over to give you more space, just so you can reach. Instead, see if you can bring the thighs and the knees closer together and like squeeze them together towards each other. Yeah. One more breath on this side. And then carefully release. Try not to let your foot slam down onto the floor. And then we'll do the other side. So grab onto support if you wish. Left leg is your standing leg. Make sure it's really strong and straight. Gaze goes forward at something that's not moving, so you're not tempted to wobble too much. And then maybe you just step the right toes back and press and squeeze the buttock, rolling that hip a little bit forward. You might feel a lot there. You might practice squeezing the heel towards your buttock. Excuse me. You might put your foot into your strap and use that to help you pull and create a little less distance. Or you might grab your toes or your ankles. Yeah. If you are grabbing your ankle or your toes, squeeze the knee in towards the other one. Yeah. See if you can look more forward and up instead of down. Soften your face, unclench your jaw, keep breathing. Good. Last breath. Take your time. And then carefully, carefully lower the foot back down. If you want to like shake it out or like whatever you need to do, just let it go. And then everyone come back down to your mat. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, let's do one more sitting and then we'll come to lay down. Unless you're already laying down and then just do it. You're way ahead of me. You should lead class. So come to sit, and this time instead of legs your choice, put your soles of your feet together. Yeah. Baddha Konasana. Good. If you're in your chair, make sure you have enough meat on the seat that you're not going to tip forward. Good. Yeah. Okay. So for some bodies, the feet come really far out ahead. That's fine. For some bodies, it's comfortable and fine to have the feet super close to the groin. It really doesn't matter. Same with the knees. They could be up super, super high, like up towards your armpits, or they could be down towards the floor. So whatever you chose, Jesus, look ahead. Roll your shoulders down away from your ears and squeeze the buttocks and the hips to open the knees out more towards the side. And see if you can make this more of a shoulder and back stretch than a hip stretch. So pull with your arms, pull your shoulders down away from your ears, reach up through the crown of your head. And if you wish, you could tuck your chin very slightly. You could even start rocking your chin to one side and then the other. Come back to stillness in the center and then forward fold of your choice. So remember, there's two different ways. You could do, some bodies like super flat back. And if you're folding forward with a flat back, you want to reach chin towards ahead of your toes. Okay. Not rounding through the middle of the spine. If you're going to round through the middle of your spine, then you're aiming the crown of your head for the spot between the soles of your feet. Easy. Remember, someone just made this shit up one day. So just try it and see what happens, okay? Press the feet into each other, squeeze the hips and the buttocks. Either way, if you have a flat back or a round back, pull your belly and your pelvis in and up, like you're trying to scoop your organs in and up behind you towards the spine. And then see if that changes the sensation or the position of your body. If you're pretty far down and you're holding onto your toes, then imagine opening your elbows out to the sides instead of straight back towards your body. If they're straight back, they're going to hit your belly and get in your way. If you open, you'll have more space. And breathe. This is one of those postures where you might get a story in your head about whether or not you should be able to do it or what it should look like. Let that shit go. That's a cloud in the sky. Notice the cloud, let it float away. Notice the sky again. Last round of breath. Good. And then inhale, lift your head and neck first, and then slowly roll yourself up to a tall spine. You can let your legs go out ahead of you. Maybe your hands come back. My favorite pose, lazy teenager. Be on the beach. And then either scoot all the way back into your chair or lay down all the way back on your behind. And once you're there, roll your shoulders down away from your ears again. Maybe you press into your feet, lift your hips again, set them back down, roll your shoulders, lift your head, set it back down. Find a really long line between your tail and your crown. One more time. Legs can stay bent or go long. Let's do a more traditional silent shavasana today, a more quiet integration pose where you just stay in silence. And I know that this, for a lot of people, is the hardest part of a yoga class. So we're only going to do 2 minutes, and I'll tell you when it's halfway over and all the way. But just stop doing yoga. Don't breathe any certain way. Don't hold your body any certain way. The idea is to just be and to notice what that is like. Whether it's comfortable or not is irrelevant. Starting now. Halfway through. Let distractions be what they are. Bring attention back over and over. Good. Notice where your mind has been. And then bring awareness back to what you are doing. Notice your body's weight on your chair or the floor. Notice your breath without changing it. Carefully start to wiggle your fingers and your toes to let your body wake back up. That could be super small, or maybe it gets a little bigger. You roll your wrists and your ankles. You can move and stretch in any way that feels natural or necessary now. And if the instinct is to be still and quiet, then please listen to that too. Good. Carefully make your way to a seat, and I'll give you one last challenge, and that's to, before you get up, notice the way you would get up by default or habit, and see if you can go the opposite direction or just get up a different way. Take your time, be careful. Yeah. And then find a tall spine again, all the way from your tail to your crown. Roll your shoulders down and away one more time. Let your gaze go forward and slightly down. Unclench your jaw one last time. Soften your eyelids one last time. And I'll invite you to bring your hands together, either in a prayer-like position, Anjali Mudra, with your thumbs pressing into the center of your chest, or you can stack your hands, or whatever feels good to you is fine. And look down or bow down toward your heart in your hands. This motion is in gratitude of yourself. So as best you can, give yourself a sincere thank you just for showing up. Everything else was just practice. And remember, you have a body, but you're not just your body. You have a mind, but you're not just your thoughts. And you have emotions, but you're not just your feelings. When you're ready, your hands can come down. Let your eyes flutter open and up. Class is over. Thank you so much for coming. I'll stop the recording, but if you have questions or concerns about anything we did or something that needs to change, you can always let me know now, or you can email me later, whatever. And nice to meet you. Come back anytime.